I think this brings you to Whacker Drive. Remember those dudes that were hanging out in the corner? That's Morgan. There when you go to a crossroads like that where there's no traffic lights.
Usually you get the person on the right away.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, we just got went and seen that Michael Jordan statue out in front of the United Center. What was wrong with it? Distributor, huh? $400. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least you don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Pay to have it towed home again? I mean, you had to get it fixed, you know. Can't pay to get it towed home again. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Been learning a lot, but
In the
been trying to
house.
have a little fun. It's a nice city. Big as hell. It's nice. Yeah, we caught a Cubs game the other day. Yeah, it was cool.
W. Sears started a small mail-order business. In Chicago, he partnered with a watchmaker named Alva C. Roebuck, and together, they created a catalog business that catered to farmers. 82 years later, in 1968, Sears Roebuck and Company had grown into a mammoth corporation with over 7,000 employees in the Chicago area alone. It was then that Sears decided to bring everyone together under one very tall roof. A 3-acre site in the Chicago Garment District was chosen, and the noted architectural firm of Skidmore, Owings & Merrill was hired. Bruce Graham, an innovative and outspoken architect, and Fazler Khan, a modest but brilliant structural engineer, were charged with designing the project. The two were eating lunch one afternoon when they hit on an idea.
We were pursuing the idea of the bundled tube system, and Foz was trying to describe this to Bruce. And finally Bruce says, I think I understand what you're saying. And Bruce was a smoker and took out his pack of cigarettes and took out a number of cigarettes and kind of held them in his hand and had them coming to different heights and asked Foz if this in fact was his idea. And Foz said, that's exactly right.
And so the tower would begin with a base of 9 tubes. 2 of the tubes would end at the 50th floor. 2 more tubes would end at the 66th floor. And 3 tubes would drop off at the 90th floor, leaving 2 remaining tubes to proceed to the top. The bundled tubes, as well as the ingenious use of step-backs, set the Sears Tower design apart from earlier skyscrapers. Breaking records was just an afterthought.
The decision to become the tallest building was not part of the initial program. But as you started to build floors that were smaller than the 50,000 square foot Sears floors, you started to build smaller ones to attract tenants. You started to push upward to encompass the 3.5 million square feet.
And so the Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill team found themselves with a structure that was flirting with a world record.
I went into a meeting with most of the Sears executives, in which there were a number of cardboard models. And then out of a bag, Bruce, who was the consummate salesman, pulled out this walnut model and put it on the table and suggested that we were so close to the ultimate, so close to the world's tallest building, that we should consider going for the brass ring.
Ground was broken in August of 1970. By midwinter, work on the foundation site was well underway. In June of 1971, with the Sears Tower foundation firmly in place, the ironworkers arrived to begin work on the massive skeleton. As the building climbed ever higher, workers found themselves fighting the forces of nature in their struggle to claim their share of the Chicago sky. They found that the weather at the top of the building could be drastically different from that on the ground, with freezing temperatures and dangerous winds. Yet even under harsh conditions, the monolithic structure continued on its journey to the top of the world. Finally, on a cold and windy May 3rd of 1973, a painted white beam signed by over 15,000 Sears employees and construction workers was ceremoniously hoisted up the building, 1,450 feet into the sky. With the job of the ironworkers finally done, the skeletal structure of the Sears Tower stood triumphantly erect. It was now time to cover the structural steel with skin, which architect Bruce Graham had envisioned as a sleek black facade of anodized aluminum accented by bronze-tinted windows. With the smallest of details secured, in the fall of 1974, just 3.5 years after construction began, the Sears Tower was complete, and Sears Roebuck & Company became headquartered in the world's tallest building. But unlike the construction of the tower, the future of its largest occupant didn't go according to plan. Although the once seedy area surrounding the Sears Tower was booming, Sears was not. And in 1988, the tower that was built for $175 million in 1974